Good day, guys. Matty Sims here. Welcome to part 3 of my FM19 experiment, where we are testing out Thiago Motta's 2-7-2 tactic formation, I guess you could say. And straight away, as you can see, we did walk the league. 37 games played, 87 points. So we do have one game to play left today, which is against Reims. First off, we'll go into competitions and I'll show you where we finished up in everything. So we won the league. We also won the Coupe de la Ligue. So that is like the League Cup of France. And then in the 10th round, we were knocked out by Rennes. And in the first knockout round of the Champions League, we were knocked out by Manchester United. I do have to admit, we were very unlucky to lose this game against Manchester United. The first leg, when it was locked at 1-1, Edison Cavani missed a penalty. And that match finished 1-1. I'll go to the schedule. I'll show you the actual result. Where is it? So, you see here, it was 1-1. And then away from home, we ended up losing 3-1. So, they got a 2-goal lead on us. We then equalised, which would have taken the game 2 extra time, but then they did end up scoring anyway. But we were already losing 3-1, so we still had a pretty big deficit to come down from after, with the 12 minutes to go there. So, disappointing. A few results, as you say, beat Strasbourg 7-0, then beat them 2-0 in the final. A lot of these, we didn't lose. We'll go into the competitions here. We'll show you an in-depth look into our season. We will go into the actual goal difference. So, 98 goals for, and only 30 against. So, we did have the best goal difference, best goal difference in the league at 68. But only conceded 30 goals with 2 centre-backs. So, I think that's a pretty good achievement. And I think if you were to use this tactic, you would have to have a different one for like the Champions League and whatnot. Like, where are we here? We'll go stages, yeah. We're into the group stage. I did have a bit of a... I don't even remember what group we were. All groups. I think we're Group C? No. What group were we? Where are we? What? Have I just missed this? Oh, Group B. Yeah, we are Group B. So as you say, Group B, we conceded 14 goals in the Champions League. And then conceded another 4. So conceded 18 goals in the Champions League and only scoring 18. So the tactic against stronger opposition, it clearly, in my opinion, doesn't work. It can, we did win, 3 games, but, look at our group. It was PSV who we got smashed against in one of the games. Inter and Tottenham. So, not the strongest or hardest group. If maybe we had Man City, Napoli, Monaco, or a group like that, or a group like Group E there, it would have been tougher for us to get out of the group. Anyway, we'll just take a quick look who is in the final. Liverpool versus Inter Milan. Now, that would be a very intriguing Champions League final in real life, I have to admit myself. But yeah, so as you see, we've only done the double. I was shocked when we lost to Rennes. That was a massive shock to me. We dominated the game, just couldn't put away our chances. That became sort of a trend, though, through the season in the end. We tried a lot of different things. I'll show you here. I'll show you our team quickly. I'll show you. So I did end up using a second one. I thought, how could you put the tactic on in Football Manager terms? And I thought I'll use this for a couple games. A 2-6-2, pretty much, or 2-3-3-2. So I used it for a couple games. When was it? Would have been around this time here. So it was after the Champions League. After we got knocked out of the Champions League. So 2-2-2. we had two draws in a row, and then a 7-0 win. But for the final, I decided to go back to our original tactic. So it kind of worked, but defensively was very hard to keep. To keep a clean sheet was tough. Yeah, we did get a 7-0 win, but that was against Strasbourg. But defensively, it just looked very weak. Buffon's retired. Just put him in the starting 11 there. A lot of players unhappy. I tried to keep the same, team for most of the season. One thing I will say, Nkunku, this player, I think we've found a bit of a hidden gem in this game. He's only got a 2-star, and 1 dark star rating. But if you look at his stats, 7.8 in the league, 7.18 in the Champions League, 7.8 in the Coupe de France, and he didn't play any Coupe de Ligue games. But I think if anyone wants to sign a workhorse of a midfielder who can play Mazzella, advanced playmaker, deep line playmaker, Roman playmaker, he can play every central midfield position really well. With a bit of training, you can make him into a pretty decent defensive midfielder as well, as a ball-winning midfielder or something along those lines. So anyone, you could probably get him on the cheap in a couple of years, as he probably would be, shipped out by PSG, but definitely someone to look at, in future Football Manager saves that I do on my channel for sure. What else now? I think, really that's it. I will say, though, when we did lose to Man United, Neymar was out injured, which was a shame. Really affected us. He's our star player. Saw there, I think he had, 19 assists in the league. We'll go now through the squad view quickly. Don't want to make this, too long, of course. But we'll go through goals. So, Mbappe, this tactic suited him so well. 32 goals, as well as Cavani with 30 goals. Neymar with 19 goals and 19 assists. So, the three you would need to use this tactic, in my opinion, you need the front three to be absolutely world class. Now, if you would want, you could play wing backs. That's one thing I will say. When this goes on the Steam Workshop, if you just do want to use it, I would, personally change it to wing backs. I might even make a couple with a wing back one, and I might even, add that free attacking midfielders one if you guys want me to. But yeah, I think you definitely need 3 attacking players who are going to press. You need a pressing forward, complete forward, and it was tough to find what position to play Neymar. Advanced playmaker, suited him well. 19 goals, 19 assists, 15 in the league, 12 in the league. 15 goals, 12 assists in the league. So, he definitely suits that role, even though it's not his preferred role. But, look at his stats. He's a world-class player. You could play him anywhere on the pitch and he'll get you goals and assists. Let's be real. Definitely also need 2 quick centre-backs. Marquinhos, 14, 15 in acceleration and pace. Thiago Silva, he's slowing down now, 11 and 11. So I did notice when Kimpembe played, he complained about game time, but I thought, I played in 14 games for a rotation player, 14 starts and 14 sub appearances. For a rotation player, that's usually what he is transfer. He's going to Schalke, so I just sold him just to really see it. Doesn't matter, does it really? But yeah, 14 acceleration, 14 pace. So he's a world-class player on this game as well. So you need, a couple great centre backs. This position, I don't know about this position. You probably just need a good anchor man or someone who can really shore up the defence, make a free back. So that's one thing I will say. Even if you want to play, that. Or with that, as your tactic. If you want to change it to that, I think that still works really well. That would suit this game more, It's not about... Yes, it's a 2-7-2 tactic, but you can't play that in this game. Let's be real. you know, virtually impossible to play that. But I think, you know, the wide playmakers as well. I don't really know what else to put here. You know, I did want to try and play. You know, actually, what we might do is deep line playmaker on support just for this game. And I'll say he's probably better. Put him in deep line playmaker support. Put Neymar as a shadow striker on attack. And we'll put him as a roaming playmaker on support as well. So, something like that. Make him a winger on attack. And we'll make Draxler as well a winger on attack. So, we'll try that out for this game. I just want to try things, change things up, try something different. You never know what works, you know. I did want to try, I forgot to try the roaming playmaker and deep line playmaker or along those lines, but we'll see how it goes. You never know. It could work out. Mbappe is injured. It's just a shame. This is the last game of the season. I think that's all we'll do. Who's this? Di Maria is fit, but not fit. So 45 minutes, that's right. Is there anything else I need to show you guys before we go? As you see, I didn't make any transfers. Maybe that's what cost us in the end, you know. Maybe that's what cost us the Champions League in the end. Not making any signings to freshen up the team in January, but you know, I wanted to just have a base, and that was it. You know, I didn't want to. If I ended up signing, you know, all these players, I would have had to sell players anyway, and it would have been a different team, you know. So we might try the wingers, get them forward as much as possible. But yeah, again, I'm going to put the base, you know, on there. Then whatever you guys want to do with it, of course, you just can change it up. It is, but as I said again, it is a tactic where, actually, I'm going to do this. No nonsense centre backs on defend, because I noticed a lot. Both ball playing defenders would run to the ball. So if they stay in their positions, you never know, it might work a bit better. But it is against who we got. I don't even know. Was it Reims? So anyway, guys, just before we get into the game, I just want to say thanks, guys, for watching the series. The first episode has over 350 views, I believe, now. So that is amazing. If you do watch it, of course, don't forget to like, you know, and leave comments. You know, I'd love to hear feedback, positive or negative. It doesn't matter. Feedback is feedback. Anything else? Yeah, so thanks guys for watching. There will be more experiments coming out, like tactical player experiments and all that in the future. So thanks guys for watching, and let's get into our final game of the series against Reims. Here we go, guys. As you see, the Reims team there, they are playing 4-4-2, which has been a bit of our kryptonite this season. So we'll see how we go, especially with attacking wingers in this match. We'll see how we can cope, but hopefully we cope well enough. But let's get into the game straight away as it's loading. Now, I've been very happy with the tactic. I have to admit, I have been very happy with how this tactic has worked out, because I was pretty pessimistic at the start. I didn't think that I'd score. I thought we'd score goals, especially with the team that we have, you know. But to concede only 30 goals in the league is, you know, pretty extraordinary. I think Thiago Motta is onto something. But it depends, okay, because it's always, you know, different. I will just pause it there, actually, and we'll go on extended highlights for this. Just so I can talk a bit longer. You know, I think you always need at least to have at least 3 centre backs, you know, or a back 4. You need to have that cover. Maybe I should have done what I think the tactic should. It doesn't matter. Name of a free kick, misses, of course. But you know, I think you definitely always need to have that cover there. It just depends on, you know, how well your team is as well. Like, of course, a team like PSG, they're going to be able to play a style like this where, you know, they're the fullbacks can push all the way up in the league. But in the Champions League, it's a different, kettle of fish. And goal. Cavani, for his 31st goal of the season, could take the golden boot out with this game, with Mbappe out injured. So yeah, I think, putting the goalkeeper into midfield, I don't think would work. Imagine being counter-attacked, every team would just sit back, with the goalkeeper, and as soon as the goalkeeper, as soon as they lose the ball, could shoot from halfway, you never know. And I don't know how a football manager would be able to incorporate that in. It would be interesting to see, wouldn't it? But Neymar shoots and misses. It'd be an interesting to see how they would incorporate a goalkeeper playing as a CDM. But I have to admit, I quite like this already, even though, it is only one game, but with the playmaking, instead of the box-to-box, they seem to have a bit more control of the ball, and they're not rushing as much. So what I might do is play another season. I won't upload it, of course, before I upload the tactic, and we'll see how we go. Timothy Weah now, who as well, pretty solid player on this game. Doesn't have the best potential, but definitely a really solid player. If you want to sign a good backup striker, Timothy Weah for any team, I reckon, he's only got 10 finishing, but he's 19. So that's a lot of his stats can still improve. That's one thing you have to admit. Give him hard training. But, Draxler on the ball now and just kicks it out, which sort of goes against the style of play, but that's all right. 20 minutes gone now in the match, and I've been happy with it, to be honest. I've been pretty happy with it this season. It's a shame that we couldn't, win every trophy, because imagine that. Make Thiago Motta look like a genius, but definitely against the weaker teams. When that's the thing, PSG already play pretty much two centre backs anyway, in the league, because their fullbacks push all the way up. So it's not a thing of, it's revolutionary, really, because, even a team like Liverpool, when they come up against the weaker sides, their fullbacks push right up. Same with Manchester City. You can see Kyle Walker and, what was it? Usually Mendy. They play right up top most times. So I wouldn't say it's a revolutionary tactic. I think what makes this sort of revolutionary is how he said the goalkeeper would play, in midfield. Which even on sweeper keeper, it's goal. Di Maria, 7th goal of the season. Even if the sweeper keeper on here is as close as you will be able to get it on the game, of course. So that's it's one of those tactics, isn't it? It's going to cause opinion if he ever does start using it, but definitely will be strange to see a goalkeeper in midfield, because you see Manuel Neuer pushing all the way up to halfway when Bayern under Pep Guardiola anyway had the ball. So again, it's not really like a revolutionary idea of the goalkeeper pushing up the field, I guess you could say. I guess it was just the way he worded it to try and make it sound like that, but decent strike there by Rabiot. Again, Rabiot, one player I've been disappointed with is Verratti. And Kunku's took his place in my team, for this season. And Verratti, I don't know why, he never played exceptional for me. Maybe it was the position, the tactical role that I had him playing. Kimpembe launches the ball forward. Cavani nods it down for Weah. Plays it all the way back to Kara. Plays it out wide to Draxler. Crossed in and should have scored, but that's all right. 2-0 up, so going to walk the league, of course. So we're going to probably hit 90 points now, I'm guessing, as well as 100 goals were hit, so that's really good. Again, attacking-wise, it's amazing. Defensively, if you come up against, a 4-3-3, you're going to have problems. So that's why I do say, if you do want to play this, you play attacking wing-backs, at least so they are sitting back just a bit, just a little bit, but they're still pushing up high enough to where, they're pretty much wingers anyway. but just so they are tracking back enough. And I guess that would sort of stop the two centre backs from just going all the way back, like all the way out wide as well, because I believe that there is cover there. But Nkunku clears the ball out, but pretty poor clearance, but it's okay. They miss anyway. Half time now. It's been a pretty long half. I do have unextended highlights, but I might take that off for the second half. Just the key highlights. We'll get through this game. I guess we don't really need to see any, extended highlights. And he's missed. Okay. Just had a quick drink there, guys. Sorry. And it's crossed in. Buffon. Not the greatest attempt at a save there by Buffon. In his last game of professional football, but as we have heard, it seems like he wants to continue on playing another season, which would be amazing. Absolute legend of world football. Arguably we arguably seen two of the greatest goalkeepers of all time, playing at the same time in Casillas and Buffon. Conservative, we'll say. Yeah, keep your guard up against complacency. Might make a couple of changes. Who's that? Nkunku, Kira, Diarra on, and Verratti on. See, I don't know, what role does Verratti want to play? Deep line play, okay. That's the thing. Nkunku can play nearly every role, and Verratti, who is a world-class midfielder, can only play two roles. I don't see how that's possible, but anyway. Just a couple of changes there, just to maybe freshen the team up a bit. But I don't like when the players, complain about the complain at the team talk. Anyway, so the audio and video is a bit corrupted. Hopefully, it's not as jumpy and terrible looking as it does as I'm recording this audio. Hopefully, once I've rendered it a bit, it fixes it up. But it's just, it doesn't look good. Sorry for the bad quality of video. It's just, I'm not sure really. My capture device, is a pretty modern one. It's also a pretty, high standard one. So I just don't know what is going on, but we'll definitely look at getting that fixed, over time now. But yeah, as you see, it is 2-1 still in our favour. The tactic. We'll just go, since I'm post commentary, we'll talk a bit about, the tactic. Even though I have gone into a bit of detail already in this episode, but it can work definitely. Definitely against weaker sides that you're going to dominate. You're definitely going to have majority of the ball against. It definitely does work. It's very hard on the counter though, to defend. I will admit. Especially when a team decides to put three strikers or three, attackers up front. It's very hard to defend that. But as you will see in this match, Reims are able to bring it back to 2-2, but it hasn't happened yet. I forget when it happened. But yeah, also as well, if the rest of this video is poor quality, I apologise once again. I don't know, for some reason my capture device, when I finish recording, it deletes about 20 seconds of the recording. So all my recordings and audio don't link up at all because the audio, when I've recorded the audio through my capture device, the audio has come out terrible, real scratchy, and you can't really hear anything. And it echoes a lot as well, where at the moment what I'm doing is using my iPhone and doing the voice memo app on the iPhone, and then just linking the audio and video up together, which has been working pretty well recently. Just recently now I've changed different formats I'm saving the videos in. It was in TS. I don't know what format that is, but then I've put it into MP4, and I've noticed it's been worse quality than what I was, so I might just have to change back to the save file to TS instead of the MP4. But hopefully once it's rendered, the quality isn't as bad as what I'm looking at right now. It's real jumpy and real laggy. So hopefully it's not like that. I do apologise if it is. But I guess back to the tactic. As you said, they just scored there as well in the 83rd minute. So once you put players up top, once the opposition players put players up top, once the opposition put players up top, I should say, all over the shop here at the moment. So upset and disappointed, in the quality of this video. But what can you do, I guess? But yeah, once the opposition put, a couple strikers and wingers, attacking up top, it is very hard to defend, as you see there. 2 strikers on 2 centre backs. It's not really going to end well, is it? That's why I do think you should play 3 at the back, or at least 2 wing backs at the very least. I do change the tactic at the end of this video, but there's no point going into it now. But yeah, definitely, Timothy Weah here should have scored. If you can see it, it's real laggy for me as I'm watching it back. So hopefully it isn't laggy for you guys. But yeah, definitely look at tweaking it a bit once it's in the workshop. If you just want to, of course, if you just want to use it, you don't have to use it. But yeah, if you do use it, definitely look at tweaking it. Maybe putting some wing backs. And that's probably all. It will in the end turn it into 4-4-2 diamond wide, a 4-4-2 diamond pretty much with 2 wing backs. But I think as it's not really a revolutionary tactic, I have to admit. Look at Pep Guardiola's Bayern Munich. Manuel Neuer, he always stood up on the halfway line. So it's not really a revolutionary tactic of like, we're going to have the goalkeeper playing higher up or in the midfield, So that's one thing, though, that did find pretty strange with Thiago Motta saying that the goalkeeper will be a central defensive midfielder when it's like, listen, that's impossible to play that. Let's be real. You're going to have a pretty fast goalkeeper to get back in case of counterattacks because realistically, anybody could shoot from halfway if they get the ball. So yeah, as you can see, the closest you can get to in the game is sweeper keeper. And I do change the tactic a bit up, as to put the wing backs and whatnot. But yeah, I believe I talked about this already, but just before we end the episode here, just thanks guys for watching. I mean, I've got over 350 views on the part 1. Of course, please remember just to like the video. And subscribe if you want to see more content, of course. And comment, comment feedback, what you think I should have done better, I've done wrong, anything. Feedback is feedback. I take positive or negative. I'm not, fussed about anything. I'm just starting out on YouTube here, so all the feedback I can get, I take it, on the chin, whether it's positive or negative. But yeah, I think we'll wrap up the episode here. Might as well. There will be more series coming like this, tactical series, player experiments, and all that. As well as starting in January, I will be having a new save starting with a team that's very close to my heart. Won't give away too much now. There will be a trailer dropping, hopefully around the start of January, and more details will come out about that. And I probably might even mention it in my Journeyman series very shortly as well. So remember, Journeyman, 6 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays, Thursdays. But yeah, thanks guys for watching the series, all the views. Don't forget to like. Thanks you for all the views as well, I should say. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.